Welcome back to the Couch Potato Show. This is episode 38, I believe. Back again with the boys. Frank, how we doing?
Phenomenal.
Eric, how we doing? Eric?
Great.
All right.
There he is.
Great.
Um, so
And my internet connection is unstable.
yeah, I know that clearly. Big weekend this weekend, Super Bowl weekend. So we got a lot to cover. We got a UFC fight Saturday night. The MLB offseason is at its peak right now. We may or may not have some breaking news at some point in the show on Trevor Bauer. So
Likely.
we'll keep an eye on that. We also have Nolan Arenado traded this week to the Cardinals. And then some news out of the NBA that they will possibly be holding the All-Star game. That is a tentative possibly because LeBron doesn't like it, so probably not going to happen. But anyway, let's start with picks. We'll get right into the UFC fight this weekend. Alistair Overeem going up against Volkov. Eric, want to give us a little preview?
Yeah, Overeem's one of the top 10 heavyweights in the sport's history. He said, a weird statement from Alistair Overeem recently. He said, I'm going to win the heavyweight title, and right after I'm going to retire. Yeah, I'm sure the promoters love to hear that. Yep, so we're going to have a vacant belt. This really lines up with our plan. So clearly, Alistair was not a engineering major or anything that involves any sort of intelligence. Love you, Alistair. Big fan. But not exactly the way to market yourself, buddy. But yeah,
On people.
this is his really his last stint. I think when he loses a fight, he'll retire when there's not a path to the championship anymore. And even if he beats Volkov, in my opinion, he'll have to win a couple more fights, especially with the Ngannou Miocic rematch already booked. John Jones is crowding heavyweight. But the story for Alistair Overeem lately for me is he'll beat people who he should beat, who aren't bona fide top 7-ish UFC heavyweights. He'll run through them pretty easily. He has his scares, or even the Rosenstrike last-second knockout. He showed some vulnerability in that chin as he gets older. I think he's 40. But Volkov on the other side of the octagon, I want to say higher ranked. Lately, he's been more impressive. I've heard a lot of buzz around him. He's talented. He's great. He's another one of these guys from Bellator. But he's both these guys, the modern version of Alistair Overeem. He's missing that signature win, and Volkov for his career is missing that signature win. I think the most impressive what he's had is against Fabricio Verdum, far past his prime. And granted, this would be Alistair Overeem, far past his prime. But either way, this would be a big win for either guy, and then for my money, puts him a couple fights away from a title fight.
So we'll get right into picks. Frank, who you got?
I'm going to take Volkov. I picked Alistair Overeem I think it was the first fight we ever picked, actually. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to go Volkov.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alistair Overeem. He worked out for me last time. And I mean the dude is just a monster. He's just one of those guys where it's so hard to pick against him because he's gonna go out there and eat somebody. So I'm gonna go Overeem. Eric, who you got?
Yeah, I believe Volkov's the betting favorite. In my opinion, this is easily one of the top 3 closest fights we've ever predicted. Really a coin flip, and I'm surprised the betting odds don't reflect that. Sort of a -110 kind of thing. Last time I checked, Overeem was a plus 145 favorite. Underdog, rather. I'm going to go with Overeem, too. Volkov hasn't had that signature win. Like I said, he Nelson when he was fat and out of shape. Love you, Roy. Sorry, buddy. Fabricio was 87 years old. Volkov's great. He's really, really good. And this win would show me that he could be a title contender. But I think for now, Alistair's never been more focused in his career. These heavyweights, they could do better things at a higher weight class as they're older because they always say power is the last thing to go. Overeem really never relied on that speed, and this might be a hot take, but if I'm Overeem, I think I'm shooting for a takedown or two. Mix up, he's fantastic on his feet, but it's in layman's terms, he's so big and he's so strong. If he gets a hold of you, he will put you on your ass and then go for a submission or a ground pound. It's gonna be a really close fight. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
He will eat you.
But I'll say Overeem.
He will eat you.
He will eat you, as the profound
Destroy.
Tyler Maines put it.
It's too
Destroy.
bright if I open this. That's too bright.
Alistair Overeem's going. He's coming for a little midnight snack on Saturday night. That's what's gonna happen.
It's more like 2 a.m. snack. Those things are working on so late at night.
Hey man, main card starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's not too bad.
It's not bad. Usually I start at like 10, and it's like.
All right, going down in Tampa. We got Buccaneers and Chiefs, Super Bowl 55. I mean, what a matchup this is for. Talk about like marketing the Super Bowl. You got Tom Brady, the GOAT, against Patrick Mahomes, who's the face of the NFL right now. This matchup all around just screams amazing Super Bowl. So, Eric, I'll start.
It's like they rigged it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost as if the NFL wanted this to happen.
You can't make this up. Unbelievable.
Eric, I'll start with you for your Super Bowl pick. Who do you got?
See, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to get in the head of Mr. Goodell. What do I want if I'm Roger Goodell? And anyone who doesn't take this into account, you're ignorant, or you're just purposely. It's real to me, man. It's like the 57-year-old man who goes to the WWE event and is like,
I was just going to say, it's just like WWE and going, it's so realistic.
Yeah, bro, John Cena's jacked. He could beat up Cain Velasquez in his prime. Yeah, no, all right. But the point is, what would he want? I think this is a good opportunity for the NFL to say, passing of the torch. You see how much we like Tom? We love Tom. We're Tom's boyfriend. We love him. And this little transition is going to be like, what? Oh my God, now Patrick did it. Whoa. So, yeah, simple, stupid analysis. But in all seriousness, Mahomes is ridiculous. He is great, I must say. Tyreek Hill was phenomenal long before Mahomes, and people just thought of him as a boom-bust kind of guy, but he's always been a high-volume receiver with explosive ability. He's phenomenal. Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league. They've gotten him better because Patrick Mahomes. I'm taking the Chiefs. This offense is ridiculous, even against a great defense. Yeah, look out for JPP on the Bucs side. If the Bucs win this game, don't be shocked if he's the MVP.
He's been better with 9 fingers than he was with 10.
8.5. Yeah. Come on, don't be generous.
8.5. Sorry. Still though.
There you go. Well, yeah, long-winded, but the Chiefs are going to
win. Frank, who you got?
I like Eric's narrative of passing the torch. I think Roger Goodell likes that narrative. But on a different note, the Bucs have won 3 straight playoff games on the road. I think they lose at home. Would be a nice thing. So, there you go, Chiefs.
There you go.
Analysis.
Now, in my 19 years of life, coming on 20, we're very close.
Your old and ripe years of 19.
Yes. I've had my fair share of watching Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, right?
As we all have.
Now, last week, Eric got me thinking about this whole Goodell thing. And I'm high on the train right now. I'm high on the Goodell train. And for that reason, I think Tom Brady, to solidify that he is the GOAT, will ask Goodell if he could win the Super Bowl. And Tom Brady will win his, I think this is 7th Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buccaneers, Super Bowl champions. I just think throughout the whole NFL thing, the Buccaneers defense has just played so well these past few weeks. That linebacker Devin White out of LSU is incredibly good. JPP is playing lights out defense. I mean, talking about eating somebody, JPP might fucking have himself a fucking snack with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the Chiefs offensive line is banged up, so it's going to be hard to stop the Bucs defensive line. So I got the Buccaneers.
Something like the Chiefs' only hope is to sign Eli Manning to a contract.
I mean, literally. Eric, who do you have as Super Bowl champion? Super Bowl MVP?
Is Roger Goodell an answer?
Yeah.
Is the referee an answer?
I'm gonna say. Ooh, I could say, you know what? We're not gonna say that. I'm on my best behavior.
The filter today.
I'll text it later. I'll text it later in the group chat what I was.
That works.
All right.
But yeah, it's gonna be Patrick Mahomes. He threw 2 interceptions last Super Bowl, and they gave him the MVP for some reason because they look. Oh, he talks like this, and he's so nice. So yeah, they like him. I guess it's gonna be Mahomes. In my prediction, honestly, he's gonna throw 2 interceptions again because that Bucs defense is good, but they love him. They're in love. It's gonna be Mahomes.
Frank, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eric. That's their golden boy. If they win the game, that he's gonna be named the MVP. Like he can throw like 4 interceptions and have 3 touchdowns, and they'll still name him the MVP. So I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, because I have the Buccaneers winning, I'm not gonna get too creative. I'm just gonna go Tom Brady. Yeah.
It's always the quarterbacks. Well, 9 times out of 10.
9 times out of 10 it'll be the quarterback, and
Unless you had
if it's not, then it'll be Gronk or something.
Yeah.
If he has
I can see Mike Evans winning it if Bucks win.
Yeah.
It's also easy to see Tyreek Hill winning it as well.
Somebody stupid will get it, probably, with our luck.
What about the defense guy? What's his name? LeMay something? LeMay something?
Oh,
LeMahieu?
Is it LeMahieu?
No.
No, it's something like that. I forget his name.
Tyrann Mathieu?
No. Stupid.
Tyrann Mathieu?
No.
That's what I said.
Starts with an L. I forget. Not important.
On the Bucks?
No, on the Chiefs. Hold on. I can't. What am I gonna Google? L name. Chiefs defense.
Chiefs defense.
I know what Frank's implying. He's implying playoff Lenny is gonna come. Leonard Fournette, 4 touchdowns, book it. Bucks win. That's defense. What Frank's implying.
Yeah. Leonard Fournette.
Tyrann. Oh, sorry, it doesn't start with an L. It ends with Hugh. That's why I thought of L.
We just said Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Oh my god.
I thought it started with an L. I heard the Hugh part, and I thought LeMay.
Unbelievable.
Started with an L.
Eric said it, then I said it.
My bad.
Get your head out of your ass.
Sorry.
It's early still.
Frank, it's not going to make the Instagram page. Don't worry, you're fine.
No, it will.
Oh,
that's tough.
The MLB offseason. We'll get back to the Super Bowl in a minute. But the MLB offseason has picked up, gained a little traction this week. Nolan Arenado traded from the Colorado Rockies to the Cardinals. Pretty much what he's been wanting for the past few years now, just getting the hell out of there. Because he's not in a great situation over there in Colorado, and he wanted out, clearly. And I don't think the fans are too upset about this. I think they're happy that he's moving on and actually has a chance to win now. But, yeah, that happened. So do you guys think the Cardinals are like an actual contender now that they have Goldie and then have Arenado, and a couple other guys?
I think they're contenders in the NL Central because that division's terrible. I think they're the front runner there, but I still think they're maybe the 5th or 6th best team in the National League after this. I have Dodgers, Padres, Braves, Mets all ahead of them. Mets assuming they get Bauer. which I'm assuming they're going to because it's the Mets. But
No, they're gonna mix it up.
they could. I don't know. But I don't think they're like World Series contenders or anything. They'll win the NL Central just because it's so bad, but I don't think they're gonna go very far.
Yeah, I think Frank nailed it. They're a playoff team, surely, especially after this. But they're not a World Series contender. They're not. This isn't the NBA. You're not going to get a star and turn into a championship threat. This is just a different game.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see. Just because they have not a whole lot of depth right now, but they have a few very good players. So
the Cardinals always find a way of being really good. I don't know how they do it.
yeah, their pitching is usually pretty good.
Well, they got Flaherty and they got what's his name? He came from Japan. Kim. So he's pretty good. He had a good rookie season. They brought Wainwright back, but he's Wainwright. He's always going to be there. Other than that, they're okay. You know, I could see them somehow making the NLCS, but I don't see them going any further than that because they always find a way to play into the NLCS. They always finesse their way through it. So
apparently, Adam Wainwright has a $5 million bonus if he wins a World Series MVP.
Yeah, I see stuff like that all the time. Like there was one, I forget whose contract it was, but someone got like a $500,000 bonus if they won the AL MVP, and it was like there's no one that would even come close to winning that. I forget who it was, but they always put clauses in like that. It's just funny. But
I had a fantasy football trade one time, and we were like, okay, we want to make this like a 3-team trade because 3-team trades are really cool, and we've never
they're really
had
hard to pull off too.
Huh?
They're really hard to pull off.
Yeah. So we were like, let's try to make this a 3-team trade because we've never had a 3-team trade before. So to make it a 3-team trade, I randomly offered somebody else. I was like, if Hunter Henry, the old tight end for the Chargers, I believe, if Hunter Henry wins the MVP of the NFL, then I will give you like Tom Brady or something. And that made it a 3-team trade.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
Now the odds of that happening were about 1 in a million.
Yeah, well.
But yeah.
Do we want to talk about the Rockies side of this and how they're just like a mess?
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have anybody now. They're kind of in rebuilding mode.
They have Trevor Story. They want to extend Trevor Story. If you're him, like why would you sign a contract there? They basically paid the Cardinals $50 million to take your best player, and no one likes Colorado. The pitchers hate Colorado. I don't think they'll trade him because he's too valuable. He's one of the top 5 shortstops in the league, but he's not going to re-sign there. And if he does, he'll re-sign, and then after 1 year, he'll request a trade. That's what most stars do anyway. So that's what Arenado did. It's 2 years out of his 8-year extension. He didn't request a trade, but we all knew he wanted a trade. So I think it'll be that kind of situation again.
Yeah, probably. All right, let's get back to the Super Bowl real quick because it is Super Bowl weekend, of course. So it'd be a sin not to talk about it. Do you think that if Patrick Mahomes wins this game, the Chiefs win this game, do you guys still think that Tom Brady is the GOAT? Eric?
Are you asking me if Patrick Mahomes? Oh, sorry, Eric.
I'll start with Eric.
Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think this is a lame, weird answer, but it's, when we're 70 years old, God willing, there's going to be someone else who I think it's just evolution. It's evolution. It's the same reason Brady's better than Montana. He's facing tougher competition because guys have more resources, more ways to get massive, to eat people, as we put it. These guys are massive. They're scary individuals. Seriously. Like in the 1960s, I looked like an offensive lineman. It's just ridiculous. The turnover, not the turnovers. We're not talking about Phillip Rivers here, but listen, the point is, what? Brady's 43 years old. he's going to lose a game to the best quarterback right now, and we're going to be like, I don't know, man, not sold on him anymore. He had me up until this day, but nope, I'm done with Brady. Yeah, no, he's the greatest of all time. Eventually, there's going to be someone else who's greatest of all time. As sports advance, people advance, and yeah, it's evolution. To deny that is to deny evolution. But for now, to this day, Brady's the GOAT. I'm sure Mahomes will go on to win many rings. To be honest, wouldn't be shocked with 5 or 6, close to Brady. But for now, for my money, best, not even the football GOAT, the best athlete I've ever seen is Tom Brady. And maybe athlete's the wrong word. But you know what? Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Tom Brady, best at their sport. That's what I'll say.
Wow.
That I've seen. I know this might be a hot take, but
That's a hot take.
yeah.
Now, I know we don't talk about hockey on the show, but I mean, come on, Wayne Gretzky is not in that conversation.
I didn't watch him.
Oh,
LeBron, MJ.
Although Tyler, all time, yeah, and it's crazy. Wayne Gretzky's no relic. He's sort of still modernish, but all time, and this is another conversation, but all time for their era, I don't think there'll ever be anyone better than Gretzky, ever. Look at his numbers. I'm a numbers guy. Look at his numbers compared to everyone else's in any era in hockey.
Well, dude, there's a stat like if he doesn't have any goals, I still think he has like the most points of all time or something stupid like that.
yeah,
Could be
by a
wrong.
shit ton.
Yeah, something stupid.
This man, oh my God, do yourself a favor, for viewers. Watch some Wayne Gretzky highlights. Tyler, good for you for plugging the GOAT. Good job.
Oh, yeah, had to.
He's ridiculous.
Frank, Bucks lose. Is Tom Brady still the GOAT?
I think he's got to be. There's no one, like Eric said, it'll change over time as we get older. But if you ask me, like Sunday night, if they lose and he's still the GOAT, yeah, he's still the GOAT. Like there's no one ahead of him. People will be like, Mahomes is the next GOAT, and I'll be like, I'll believe that when I see it. He'll have 2 rings at that point, which of course is like an incredible accomplishment. But Brady's still the pinnacle of football. When you say football, I probably think of Tom Brady. The guy's just a winner. He only loses to the Giants because the Giants are the best team ever. But
We lost the Eagles once.
he lost to the Eagles once. But I don't. Of course, there will be like the guys on ESPN, like Stephen A. Smith, going, Tom Brady blew this game and he's not the GOAT anymore. Because that's Stephen A. Smith. They always do it for headlines. But he's undisputed GOAT. I don't know anyone else who would even be in the conversation for football. But yeah, I think it's Tom Brady no matter what happens in this game.
Yeah, just to put a cap on it. Sorry if I cut you off, but my uncle, who's like 80 years old, he's like, Jim Brown is the best athlete I've ever seen. He would put up some numbers today in the NFL. Like, he's delusional. He's one of those people who think, stop, you're embarrassing yourself. He even says, like, yeah, Tom Brady's the best. I thought it was Joe Montana, but Tom Brady's the best.
Yeah.
The old geezers are saying it. It's time to move on to that train, people. Brady's the best. Face it. Even if you don't like him and you
I hate him.
smile.
And I still say he's the best.
Yeah, exactly. I love him, and I think he's the best. Tom Brady, supporter, he's polarizing. I get that, but he's awesome. It's watching him, and I hate football nowadays. I really do. Like, it pains me.
No, really.
I know. Breaking news. Yeah. Tyler, we do have breaking news during this podcast. I hate football, but watching him is so fun. The guy can't even move. He's like,
I know, he's so unathletic. It's crazy.
Like concrete shoes.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I use the verbiage, greatest athlete I've ever seen. Because, for his sport, but he's like the least athletic man I've ever seen in my life.
He's the least athletic player I've seen last this long and be this good at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's insane.
The only other person I can think of is probably like Big Papi because he was stupidly unathletic as well.
Yeah,
but not even that. I guess.
Well, I mean, the power in that man was just.
I know, but he's not like an athlete,
Yeah. I don't know, because now it's one thing to go out there and win a bunch of Super Bowls, and I have all the respect in the world for Tom Brady and what he's done. I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But when you look at his Super Bowls and how he's got there and the ones that he's won, he doesn't play well. Like, he never plays well in the Super Bowl. I think the game that he had against the Falcons where they had that massive comeback, was the best Super Bowl that he's ever played. Which is sad because that game was mostly the defense with that comeback. But when you look back on his wins, there's always that one play that the defense made that really not win the game, but gave Tom Brady that chance, that push to win the game. You look back at the Seahawks game. I mean, if Malcolm Butler doesn't intercept that pass, the Seahawks have another Super Bowl, and Tom Brady has one less. So,
well, let me ask you this then: if it's not Tom Brady, then who is it?
Peyton Manning. In my opinion, Peyton
that's
Manning.
an acceptable answer.
In my opinion, Peyton Manning is the greatest to ever do it because he did it for so long. Two, he did it for two different teams, which is so hard to do.
I mean, isn't that what Brady's doing right now?
Brady hasn't won yet.
Yeah, but first year, say he's off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, first year he's off to a pretty good start. Yeah, I'm not denying that. Now, the Buccaneers defense has to be mentioned when it comes to how the Buccaneers got to the Super Bowl. I mean, you can't ignore that the Buccaneers defense is playing better than anybody else in the NFL right now. So,
well, yeah, but I doubt Peyton Manning won all those Super Bowls just with him playing. Like, there's more parts to a team than just a quarterback.
Oh yeah, on the Broncos, that defense.
Yeah, the Broncos defense was insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, his days with the Colts, that defense was never, it was never something to write home about. No,
but there's also other parts to football teams. Like, it's not just the quarterback that wins Super Bowls.
I know. I'm just saying.
Otherwise, Aaron Rodgers wins like 7 rings.
I'm just saying that Tom Brady gets a shit ton of help from defenses.
And the refs.
Yes, thank you, Eric.
That's everybody.
And Peyton Manning was a guy that he'll go out there and he'll throw 50 touchdowns in a season because he's Peyton fucking Manning. And then he'll go and win a fucking Super Bowl because he's Peyton fucking Manning. I mean, if you take Tom Brady out of, hypothetically speaking, let's take Tom Brady out of the equation. Say he never played. Say Tom Brady never existed. How many Super Bowls? Can you imagine how many Super Bowls Peyton Manning would win? Just think about it.
A lot of Super Bowls.
How many does he have now?
Peyton has 2.
I think so.
He has 2. I mean, there's still, like, come on. Brady would have 7.
Okay, but you can't judge. This is what I hate, because you can't judge a player by rings.
Well, I get that, but I think it's still a factor. It's not like the deciding factor, but it's got to be a factor. Otherwise, that's why you play.
Like, in my opinion, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player to ever play. In my opinion,
that's because there's other reasons than just rings.
He's the GOAT.
Rings is definitely has to be a factor.
If you want to talk about rings, then I guess Robert Horry would be the GOAT because he has
It'd actually be Bill Russell.
What?
It'd be Bill Russell.
How many does Bill Russell have?
Like 11 or 12.
Horry has 8.
Yeah, I go Tyler's. That was a good example because Bill Russell, you could make an argument. He was phenomenal.
He's up there, yeah.
Yeah. The other guy Tyler named, not on Bill Russell's level. So,
no.
To equate all the rings, and I get it, but just to go back to Tyler said, he doesn't perform well in Super Bowls, which is actually really true. He doesn't. And for me, if Brady had 2, then I can get along with that storyline. But the fact, and I'm not a big he's good for the locker room. He's good for the culture, man. He's so good. He's so positive. But if you do it 6 times and you don't even perform that well any of the times, the Falcons' comeback was fabulous. But I don't know. There's just something to be said about repetition and to do it that often. And I think
there's only so many times where you can say it's a fluke. You can't say it's a fluke because of other reasons for 6 times.
I'm not saying it's a fluke.
Yeah.
Well, you can't blame it on other things. There's a common denominator here.
I'm not blaming it on the fact that Tom Brady had insane defenses.
Well, it's a common denominator. Like you say that he usually doesn't play well, but something has to work. Otherwise, he wouldn't have 6 rings.
Yeah.
He's just, this is my opinion, obviously, because there's no right way.
Well, no, that's not the right answer.
But I just think if you were to put Peyton Manning on those Patriot teams, that Tom Brady took the Super Bowl that many times, they definitely would have beat Eli and the Giants once, if not twice. I think. No, he was retired at that point, but if you take
that's an impossible what if.
If you take Broncos Peyton Manning, put him on the Eagles team that lost to the Patriots, I think they win that game.
The Eagles beat the Patriots. What?
I mean, put them on the.
Oh, you meant the other way around? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's an impossible what if. I don't think you can measure things on like, oh, if this happened, then this.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. If honestly, Peyton Manning is not as good looking or marketable as Tom Brady is. Seriously.
And that's why.
Yeah, 100%, 1,000,000% yes. If we're talking raw talent, like I don't know, am I nuts to equate getting the refs on your side to being talented? I feel like that's good, isn't it?
I don't personally, but you could. I guess.
Now, if we're talking raw talent, if we're talking most talented quarterback of all time, I don't think there's somebody that you can match up against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And we don't think of Aaron Rodgers as a GOAT because he doesn't win the rings.
See, but the refs don't love him. He's not like Mr.
The Packers? The Packers got bailed out so many times.
Yeah, but they never seem to get it done in the playoffs.
Frank, always the bride.
It's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady finds a way to get it done. That's what I'm saying. Does he get helped out? Sure, everybody does. Rodgers has, Brady has.
Not everybody gets helped out. As a Jaguars fan, I could tell you the amount of holding calls on James Robinson's 15-yard runs is astounding. Wow, it's crazy. What an undisciplined football team. That never happens with Ronald Jones, I'm sure. It's amazing. It's amazing the politics involved. It's like another house of cards. It's phenomenal what the NFL does. And I don't know. Honest to God, I think you need to give the LeBrons of the world, the Bradys of the world, credit for the refs being like, I love you so much. Please, I want to see you win. We need to. It's going to make us money. Because, like, what are we going to penalize them for that? That's good that they're doing this, you know? They've finagled their way to where the audience is sort of like, all right, well, Brady gets the calls. That's good. That's talent, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think this whole thing with talent's obviously a factor, but if you say like the MLB, like the most talented player of all time is I would have to say Roberto Clemente probably, and no one says he's the greatest of all time.
I would argue Babe Ruth.
I wouldn't argue Babe Ruth. He was way better defensively, but again,
I would just argue that Babe Ruth could do more on a baseball field.
Yeah, but like there's other arguments there. Like most talented basketball player, you could have several thousand different arguments. Like Wilt Chamberlain's definitely an answer. Who else? MJ's obviously an answer. I don't even know who else. There's a ton of different answers.
Wilt, but wasn't everyone like 6'4" when he was playing?
I couldn't tell you that, but
yeah.
Like fundamental skill, I think there's a ton of different answers where you can't just say fundamental skill is why this guy's the GOAT. Like I think there's other factors in it.
Right.
It's all so opinionated. Everything is the GOAT, the most talented, best looking. I don't care what it is. Just as beauty's in the eye of the beholder, talent is in the eye of the scout, you know?
No wrong answer.
Yeah. No wrong answer.
Except for Tyler's. Tyler's always wrong.
Yeah, it's usually how stuff goes. I would like to point out that the pick'em score is 33 to 32 to 31, I believe.
Yeah, but what was last season's?
All right. Well, last season didn't really. We're done with last season.
Of course, it's current events, Frank, not ancient history. Come on, man.
There's still a lot of time left. I'm just using a full season, you know, like last full season.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm right in the mix. I'm right in the mix right now. I got
Yeah.
you guys right where I want you.
Oh, okay.
Give me
Sure.
and then wait till next week when
Don't pull
we
this
get
NASCAR
racing
crap on
around
me.
ovals and stuff. Oh, you guys are done.
Don't pull this NASCAR crap. That's what you said last season. And just made you fall further behind because you picked Kyle Busch for every race.
Yeah, I learned my lesson this year.
He's grown. He's grown.
Yeah, I've matured. I've grown up.
He's
If
a
you
mature
think
podcaster now. He's wise.
if you think I'm picking Kyle Busch before he even wins a race this year, you are very wrong.
I told you not to do it last season, and you're like, I really like him. He's not winning anything.
No, that wasn't my reason. My reason was he's gonna win a race eventually, and I want to take advantage of it. I just didn't know when he was gonna win.
Instead, Tyler went down like 20 points, and then he gained 3 back, and he was like, it was worth it. I got the advantage.
I didn't even pick him when he won.
Yeah, the one time like the third time you didn't pick him, he won, which is really funny. But
hey man, watch out for the M&M's car on the 500 this year.
pick him. Go ahead. I want you to pick him.
He's never won one.
Guys, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I got it.
I don't know. See what happens. In other news this week, because we're still waiting on Trevor Bauer. Gosh, I feel like we're at like the deadline again. The trade deadline.
The trade deadline where nothing's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the clock to strike 12, and nothing's gonna happen until 20 minutes afterwards.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have to be like, well, last week Trevor Bauer signed.
Yeah.
We'll be behind again.
Other news in the world of sports, NCAA football, I can't say NCAA, college football video games coming back. I know I'm hyped for that because I'm not really down with paying $150 for the game on eBay right now, and then $300 for an Xbox 360 just to play it. So hyped for the new game. It's supposed
I'd
to
be
come out.
excited if it came out in like all consoles, but it's only the next gen consoles. So I'm not gonna buy a new console.
It'll be next gen consoles, but it also comes out in like 2 to 3 years.
Oh, really? Oh, then
Yeah.
it'll be depreciated by then. All right.
Yeah, so by then you'll probably by then a lot of people will have the next gen consoles that don't already have it. So probably the most hyped video game of all time.
Well, would it be like NCAA football 21 comes out in 3 years, or will it be like 24?
Well, it'll be 24.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna name it 21.
Okay.
But yeah, probably the most hyped video game of all time.
Oh, definitely. I can only imagine how much money they're gonna make off of this thing in 3 years.
Yeah. And why is that? What, are the mechanics different? What am I missing?
They haven't made one in like 8 years.
All right, there's a lot of terrible things they haven't made recently or done recently that wouldn't exactly sell. What am I missing? Like, why is it different mechanics?
Like, why is this video game so great?
Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
Never.
Okay,
that's why. There's your answer.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Have you played Madden?
Yeah, I played Madden.
Okay, so imagine EA caring about its user. Imagine EA listening to fans and what they want. Imagine EA putting in a game mode where it's basically as realistic, like a franchise mode that is as realistic as possible to an actual NFL franchise. Imagine that in a college football game with over 150 schools to play with and choose from.
Yeah, you could like be at your favorite school, the school that you go to or whatever. Like, say you're a no-name school and you can actually like go and build and.
Oh yeah, they have Montclair in the game.
Well, not Montclair, because Montclair is not a real school. It's barely even a real school.
True.
I think it's like all D1, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd have to imagine.
It's D1, and then there's rumors going around that they're going to include HBCU schools.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
you
yeah,
should take
imagine, Eric,
your
imagine
like a random school.
Yeah, I can't knock it till you try it, but I was just curious because there's a lot of buzz around it, which is exciting.
there's also at least this is what they had in the NCAA 14 game. There's a game mode where you can play like a regular play now game with mascots.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So imagine going out there picking Stanford,
Being a tree.
running around with 11 trees on the field.
Well, it's basically the modern day NFL.
Yeah.
Big Ten.
Or being Alabama and you just have like elephants everywhere.
Now just you wait until St. Louis gets a Division I football team.
Pelicans everywhere.
Oh my God, that's a terrible, terrible thought.
Give the people what they want, video game. We're asking. Come on.
St. Louis
Do it.
athletic director. We're talking to you. Get a D1
No,
football
but-
team.
No, you can like there's the franchise dynasty mode, and then there's the career mode where you literally create your own high school that you go to. Play 2 years of high school football.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
Get
Why
like
only two?
Division I offers, reject, and if you play well, then they'll give you more offers. If you don't play well, teams will retract their offers. And
I
then
think it's
once
more
you-
like that it hasn't come out in so many years, so people are just like really excited for it to come out.
And by the time that the new game does come out, it'll be 10 years since the last game.
Okay.
I
So
think it's more like that.
in this career mode, can you go to the NFL?
And then and then once you're done, at least this is what they had in NCAA 14 into Madden 14. What they had was you could upload your career
Yeah.
mode
Like a save
to
file, right?
EA servers, and then you could download it, and you can go into Madden and download it to start your career, and all of your like
Your college
your
stats
person
would be
will
there
the
too.
same. Your stats, it'll pull up your college stats, and it'll have your college stats, what college you went to, if you played well, like if you were the Heisman Trophy winner in college, that coding will carry over, so you'll be like a first round pick in the NFL. If you played like shit in college, and that will carry over, and you'll be like a 6th or 7th round pick in the NFL.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I love a good old career mode. That sounds pretty.
And it's mostly because there's no other like college game out there. Like the NBA doesn't have a college game. I wish they did, but they don't. MLB definitely doesn't have one because it's not nearly as popular as football or basketball. So it's really like the only college level gameplay that they have. So it's kind of like a excitement for that too.
But yeah.
Although the NBA games have you play like 3 games in college or something, so it doesn't really count.
Don't disappoint me, EA.
It probably will.
It's
It'll probably be so overhyped that it won't be as good.
all I'm asking for. That'll do it for this week's episode. I know, Eric, good timing, right? Yeah. That'll do it. We'll see you next week. Super Bowl Sunday, and then we're back to racing next weekend with the Daytona 500. So, and we are still in the works with a very special episode that we're working on. So, stay tuned for that. And yeah, that'll do it. So for the boys, adios.